Greetings everyone, I'm Stefan, and today I'll be showing you how to liberate Mom's Basement. Yes, seriously. In this video, which is sponsored by Paradox Interactive, we're going to be taking a look at what are the new origins introduced in the Overlord update, namely the Imperial Fiefdom. With this origin, we start off as one of the subjects of an advanced AI empire, and while this can be beneficial, all in all, I'd say this is one of the more challenging origins, and probably is on the same level as Doomsday. Now, our Overlord isn't all that bad, really. They will offer us a deal, which will allow us to be one of 3 special new subject types. We can be a Bulwark, a military-focused subject that is basically a big, fat wall against any enemy invasion. We can be a Scholar and sit in a corner and just tech rush all day. Or we can be a big farm, basically, with the Prospectorium type. However, in this video, we're not going to be a subject for very long at all. If our plan works, and the Great Gamer Rebellion of 2201 succeeds, we're going to be liberated pretty quickly. You see, one interesting fact about Liberation Wars is that a status quo is a victory. You are liberated if you settle a status quo in such a war, and one of the ways to get a status quo is just to wait it out. And our empire is built just for that purpose. However, before we do declare independence, there is one thing that we can do, and that is to leech off our Overlord. We can accept a military-focused deal, and this one will actually give us some stuff. As you can see right here, going with the Bulwark specialization immediately gives us destroyer tech and a few destroyers of our own. That is not going to be entirely viable in this playthrough. So what we're going to be doing with these destroyers instead is scrapping them for resources and buying a whole bunch of armies. Because armies, with this build, are going to be incredibly powerful. This empire is geared for war. We start off with the Reanimator Civic, which allows us to spam zombies on our capital, and the zombies are as perfect as can be for ground warfare. We're taking the Lithoid trait for the 50% extra army health, we're taking Resilient and Strong for extra army damage, and all in all, we're starting off with a very big garrison without even doing anything. Now, we are going to have to add on to it, and that is why we're stripping down these destroyers, but army isn't going to be everything. In fact, our second greatest objective of this war is to make sure that we can actually recover. You see, being independent is good and all, but if you're going to get conquered within 10 years anyways, it's not going to really matter. So what we're going to be doing is using our corvettes, our science ships, and our construction ships to make sure that we're not blocked in by the end of the war. With this origin, you typically start pretty close to your Overlord, and there's a good chance that they're going to come in and take your guaranteed habitables. We cannot let that happen. While we are getting bombarded, we are also going to want to focus heavily on science and exploration. We're going to want to make sure to get as many anomalies as possible, because anomalies are going to give us both resources and stored research. And stored research can be quite substantial in advancing our tech levels. So, without further ado, let's wait a little bit to get some more bonuses from our Overlord, and then declare our war for independence. Alright, there we go. 200 days have passed and we have become the Bulwark, and now we can see what bonuses we're getting, and also what bonuses we're going to be losing out on in just a sec. All in all, you do get some pretty nice stuff as Bulwark. At the cost of your energy, minerals, and food production, you become a very strong defensive empire. However, we don't want to be a mere defensive empire. We want to be a big empire with many colonies of our own. But before we declare our freedom, we are going to get that last dip into free technology. We're going to be getting FTL inhibitors for free, and we're going to be getting the options for starholds and planetary shields. Now, you might be tempted to hold off on declaring rebellion until you get the planetary shields, but by that point, it might already be too late. So, without further ado, let's declare our independence. Now, keep in mind, you can invite attackers during this war, but in our situation, yeah, these guys aren't nearly strong enough to sustain it, so we're going to be facing it alone. We're going to use the first few days of war to build up as many science ships as possible and prepare for the worst. Our economy is not going to be alive for very long, I would like to stock up on some stuff, but otherwise, our whole economy for the next 15 years is going to be focused on energy, and energy only, because we are going to need to pump out armies faster that they can be killed. Okay, the enemy is gathering up their forces. They're not quite ready to attack, which gives us a good chance to prepare a little bit more and eke as many resources as possible before our planets go to 100% devastation. I'll be building up as much army as possible. Generally, 1K will handle this. And once they do assault, it's going to be rough. Yeah, our puny starbase can't really do much against them. Although, funnily enough, I do believe our starbase does still get the bonuses from being Bulwark, even though we are in a civil war. This does allow us to potentially fight this war in the void, but in our situation, it's not going to really matter too much. The bombardment has already begun, and we are starting to meet hostile forces in space as well. My god. No. You know, I was expecting to fight an empire, but I wasn't expecting to fight space Xenos as well. My god, this is a two-front war now. Fortunately, on the home front, things are looking up. We're not getting devastation all that quickly, right? Our people are doing fine. Don't worry about it. As long as we have more than 0 pops at the end of this war, I'll call it a win. Oh, stability, unrest. Well, that's just par for the course for this empire, isn't it? We are about a third of the way there. All we got to do is get the enemy to 100% war exhaustion, and then we'll be good to go. Yeah, just hold on there, guys. Hold on there. Shelter in place. You know, hide under desks. Whatever will help you survive. In the meantime, our science will go on as usual. Yeah, and speaking of science, we just got some good news. Asteroid Blast Door is going to get us quite a lot of resources and is going to really help us recover from this war. So let's go ahead and secure that. We have plenty of influence to get that done. So let's go ahead and do. Our general economy might be looking bad, but our smuggling prospects are looking quite good. Let's feed off random artifacts in order to sustain our economy. Revolt brewing in Mom's basement. Don't worry about that one. It's gonna be okay. Well, hello there, salvagers. How's it going? We could potentially buy some... Yeah, let's buy some fleets. Why not? Do a little bit of trolling. These corvettes look awfully similar to the ones we had, but I'm not gonna ask questions. And actually, this might be a little bit of a problem. Okay, never mind. I guess we cannot buy corvettes from a random trader on the other side of the galaxy.
A few minutes later.
Oh, our planet is getting invaded. Oh no. That actually could be a good thing. They're losing their invasion because as reanimators, we actually reanimate some of their armies. So that's pretty good. Let's just build up a little bit more army to compensate. Oh, hello there, Star Empire. That kidnapped a scientist and killed another one. How's it going? Well, I'm sure we can improve relations with a little bit of sweet talk. Oh, and speaking of sweet talk, these guys are at a point of high exhaustion, which means that we can status quo and... Kablam! Independence. At this point, our main priority is going to be to not die to this great overwhelming power that we just freed ourselves from. Now, we didn't really kill a lot of their people, so they're not particularly angry with us. But hey, their vassals are nice and are actually going to guarantee our independence, which is very, very good of them. Now comes time for the rebuilding, and this one is going to be quite a challenge to pull off. With a low population, a lot of devastation, and a split up territory, we're going to have a relatively hard time recovering from this. But that's very much possible, and in fact, I'm sure we can even outgrow our Overlord and make him our vassal in the future. But with that, thank you everyone for watching. You can get Overlord at the link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.